I'll introduce them to you in a wee minute. But I really cannot resist mentioning one fella in particular, Seamus McCormick. And the talent. Everyone to see you. Boxing, my professional boxing in Newry, and he's still going strong. It's lovely to see you, Seamus. Still morning. Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and many welcomes here tonight. And thank you so much indeed for coming out in such great numbers. The 12th of July is a good day for fighting. We're going to feature the homecoming stroke the Battle of the Boyne in the Fairways Hotel in Dundalk. This is very generously promoted by the Cullen Promotions. We have an incredible lineup for a small hall show. I've never seen the likes of it in my life. By the way, before we carry on, I'd like to welcome a lovely guy, one of the greatest, most scientific boxers ever seen, Paul Judy McCluskey. Paul McCluskey. We have with us today, some of the boxers couldn't make it because Hugh Fury, for example, is boxing on Saturday night, and he sent Mickey Woods, the matchmaker, a sincere apology that he just could not take the chance coming across today. But he will be there for the Battle of the Boyne. We have with us the wee Aussie himself, 4 years in Australia. Wonderful, wonderful career in the making for him. Already he's Australian and Asian champion. The headliner, Patrick Murphy. Patrick Murphy. The chief supporting contest we have from Dooney Country, as I call it, Dungiven, Eamon King O'Kane. He's boxing one of the fittest, most progressive boxers in Ireland, certainly today, and it is going to be one hell of a scrap. Anthony Fitzgerald from Dublin. And at the end here, there's a wee fella. He doesn't look much. He's very light on it, but he's also very fit. And I'll tell you something. I promise you, he's going to be world champion inside 5 years in this division. From Belfast, Jimmy Conlon. That's all the guys who have a show today. But it's lovely to see them here. I'd like to hand you over to the promoter-in-chief. Where? Who?
Stevie Collins.
You want me to call him twice? Okay. Young Stevie Collins there at the end. Once again, give him a big round of applause. Stevie Collins, the son of a living legend. I mean that. Great Steve Collins. Okay, right away I'm going to hand you over to the promoter-in-chief here, young Owen Murphy from Cullen Promotions. Give him a big round of applause, folks.
It's still good morning, it is, I think, yes. I haven't a big lot to say. Most of you know me here. I'm Owen Murphy. I'm representing Cullen Promotions here this morning, and this homecoming of Patrick Murphy scheduled for the 12th of July in Dundalk. And I'd just like to thank you all for coming, and especially the boxers who travelled different parts of Ireland to get here this morning, and the press who's come along and stayed about and waited about, probably busy schedule today. But I haven't a big lot to say. Just I'm glad to see Patrick home. He's a local lad. He's my own son, you know, and to fight in a show in the dock against Michael Kelly, and you know, we've been working on this while. So we have you know, behind the scenes, myself and Sheriff McCormick, and our matchmaker Mickey Hughes, and I must thank Mickey for that. He's good. You know, and there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes in boxing, you know, a lot of people don't see, and a lot of these wee shows, as Harry said, these wee home shows and stuff like that, you know, and between coaches and boxing and themselves, we're trying to get organised, and you know, we hope this is a good show. It is a good bill, and I know it's going to be a good show, and I hope it's the first of many to get boxing back in this area to a professional level, you know. That's our intentions anyway, to put boxing back in the map in the border towns, you know, and this homecoming, I say, is a good start for it, and I think Patrick's fight, his opponent is off. I only get that word last night from Mickey. When these things happen in boxing, you have to come over these hurdles as you go along. But been a good matchmaker. Mickey discussed with me when we were making this show to always have a backup in the line. And I have to say he worked hard on that. He kept a backup. And maybe that's what we call him. But I'm not saying much more on that because, as I say, I didn't win the match. But I think Harry's going to maybe tell us why the fight is called off and maybe who we're fighting next. And that's all I have to say. And thank you for coming.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, last Saturday morning, or early Saturday afternoon, I was talking to Mickey Kelly, along with joint promoter Mickey Hughes and Owen, and he says 1000% I'll be there. Again, I don't want to go into details, don't want anything carried back that's not right. Even a boxing coach, he should be highly respected, and in his own way, the coach of Mickey is probably thinking that he's looking after the betterment of his boxer, the safeguard of his boxer. But Mickey said that he was definitely on, no matter what anybody said, at the agreed fee that was agreed on over a month ago. And it's a load of crap that was in the Facebook and papers about certain fees being paid to Mickey Kelly. He's been very, very well paid for the fight. We wanted this because these are two boys. Kelly has been calling Murphy out. Could you switch that off for a wee second, please? Michael, as far as I'm concerned, he's a proper gentleman, and in my eyes he always will be. But I think he's being advised wrongly. That's all I can say about it. Now, we had a hint 2 or 3 weeks ago that this might happen. So Mickey Hughes put in place a substitute, just in case. And it's even a harder scrap for young Murphy, in my eyes. Okay? Can I mention who it is? It's a fellow that fought last Saturday night, and he won very well over, you saw it on television, a young fellow called Peter McDonough. And we're going to great expense, seriously, to get him over here, paying him a big fee, so as not to let down this show. No matter what happens, this is one show that is not going to be cancelled under any circumstances. There's too much at stake. Even if we come out, even owing a few quid, or euros, I beg your pardon, we are going to run this show. Now take, for example, the cheap supporting contest. My goodness, where are you going to get 10 rounds of boxing in Prospect? As two of the hardest punching great fighters, young fighters, still learning the trade, they're the first to admit it, in Anthony Fitzgerald and Anthony Eamon O'Kane. I think that's going to be a fight to remember. Now, I'm going to hand you over to, I'm still intrigued by this refusal of Mickey Kelly. I just can't understand it. Now, I've just heard actually from Mickey Hughes that very generously they are giving Mickey Kelly another 24 hours before they scrap the Kelly team and run with Peter McDonough. And I think that's very, very generous of Mickey Hughes and Owen Murphy. I'm very curious to hear what Patrick Murphy has to say about this and how he feels. Is it disrupting his training? He may have to change opponents, etc., etc. He's travelled, a few days ago he travelled all the way, some 13,000 miles from Brisbane, I think.
Yeah.
So it's a week, is that right?
Brisbane, yeah.
It's a wee place in Australia. And he's here today, and he's very, very up for this show on the 12th of July, the Battle of the Boyne. Ladies and gentlemen, the Australian and Asian champion at welterweight, give it up for Patrick Murphy.
Thanks very much. Firstly, I'd like to thank everybody for coming today, and to Cuholland Promotions for obviously putting on the show and giving me the opportunity to fight in front of all my family and friends. It's something that I've wanted to do since I turned pro 2 years ago, and as I say, I'm delighted to get the opportunity. It's great to be home. It's great to be back in Uri, and yeah, like I'm disappointed. Mickey Kelly, we left the chair sitting there for him. I thought he still made a showing. He called me out. I just read an interview on Facebook last night how he wanted back into the winner's circle, and to be honest, he wasn't going to get back into the winner's circle fighting me. But 24 hours, I think I've travelled the whole way home from Australia, and Michael Kelly can't travel down to Newry. I think it was going to be a great fight. He's talked about how he's training hard, and he reckoned he was going to beat me, and if that's the case, I was fighting Michael Kelly in his hometown of Dundalk. It might be my homecoming, but I was getting into his backyard, and I'm putting an offer out to Michael Kelly. Like we said, he's 24 hours to come back down and fight me, put his money where his mouth is, and I think it would make for a great show. I wasn't actually going to be coming back until the end of this month, and I was talking to my father Owen, and he encouraged me to come home a bit earlier, and I'm really glad I did. It's been great getting back into the club with Seamus McCormick, and back to basics. I've been training every day with young Connor Wallace, who goes to Germany with the Irish under-18 team now next week, and it's just great to see all my family and friends, and to be fighting on this show, and especially topping the bill, having such great boys on the undercard. But I'd like to ask the people of Newry and Boyne and the people of South Armagh to come out and support small shows like this. Boxing has gone stale at the minute, and we need these shows to be successful. And the only way we can get these shows to be successful is to get people through the door, get bums on seats. Like, it's a great show, there's great fights on the night, and we just hope that we get a good crowd there, and we can continue and maybe run another one at the end of this year, the start of next year, and maybe many more in the future. And just back to the Michael Kelly case, like I'm going to fight Peter McDonough, who Michael Kelly himself wouldn't fight. Peter McDonough's a harder fight, and I'm going to fight him in the dog to prove to Michael Kelly what good a boxer I am, and I'm going to put on a show in front of his people. So again, I just want to say to Michael Kelly, if you see this or you hear word of this, please get in touch with Michael. I think we should get it on. Thanks very much.
And I think really, even if Mickey does turn it down in the next 24 hours still, that's a fight that we should be putting on again in October. Maybe under new trainership or something. I've no idea what happened. It seems so bloody strange.
Advertise your business here. Reach a weekly audience of 275,000 people. Be ahead of the rest. Call Damien on 078 08 80 34 75 or 028 308 34 012.
In a certain way as well, because his trainer just wouldn't let him, didn't agree with terms or whatever. The contract is sitting on the table for Mickey Kelly to sign if he came today. It's going to be extended for another 24 hours. Now you can't be any more patient than that. We have a show. And the undercard in that show is sublime. It's definitely one of the best shows, possibly in the last 5-6 years, to be run in the category of small hall boxing. The chief supporting contest, I'd like to hand you over to Paddy Murphy. He's going to introduce the chief support contest here.
I'm privileged to have to be top or headline on the show with such a great supporting bout, and I know it's going to be a cracker. Two great boxers, and yeah, it's going to be a great fight. I'll just introduce you on my left here, Anthony Fitzgerald. His last fight he lost to Andy Lee, which a lot of people thought it was a dubious decision. Andy Lee, who's in line maybe for a possible world title shot, so it shows how good he is and how good this fight's going to be.
Just want to thank the lads in Kilcullen Promotions, Owen and Mickey, for having me on the show to basically revenge the loss on my card, where Eamon that I did think I won in prize fighter, and a lot of people did think I won. But come now, 10 rounds, it's a different story. Like, fair play to Eamon for getting back into the ring with me and giving me the chance to revenge this. Like, not only does people not want to go in and have one shot at me, but he's getting in now and he's having another shot. Like 3 rounds now in for 10. So just want to thank Eamon and the lads for having me on the show.
Now I'd just like to hand over to Eamon O'Kane. He's another great fighter. As Anthony has said, the two boys fought before. Eamon just nipping the decision, and that's the 3-round fight. It's now a 10-round fight, and it's going to be 10 great rounds. Eamon O'Kane.
It's good to be back boxing on a show with Paddy. I boxed with him as an amateur many years ago whenever we flew on the way to Australia and across the Middlesbrough and boxed. So it's good to be back boxing with you again, Paddy. I'm grateful that the show's going again. Boxing seems to be leaving here, so it's going to need small shows to keep boxers fighting and keep us living, you know. And no, it's good to be fighting Anthony again. After all the talk that was done after it, I thought I clearly won the fight, but I had to fight back. You know, if there's any quality, punching or quality of the boxing at all, came from me. And yes, it was wild and crazy because it was prize fighter, but I clearly thought I won the fight well. But I will answer them questions on the 12th of July, the wonderful 12th of July, and I intend to show the improvements that I've made with the new coach Bernardo Checa, who's doing a fantastic job with me, and myself, Paul McCluskey. And no, looking forward to getting that Irish title around my waist and get the first belt around my waist and moving onwards and upwards from there. Thanks again for everybody who thanks for
Well done, Eamon O'Kane, King King. So this junction, actually, I'd like to welcome a fella. It's an absolute honour to have him. He's done more for professional boxing over this past 20, 30 years than possibly any other trainer or even promoter in Ireland. Mr. John Breen. John Breen over there. Give him a big round of applause. One of his strategies there. The hardest man ever in boxing, the great Fra McCullough. Fra McCullough is here. He's the chairman of the Boxing Union of Ireland currently. So, we head on here. There's a young fella from Belfast, and I have admired him for many years. His brother got silver at the Olympic Games. He got silver at the European Games. That's young Michael Conlon. But we have with us today, definitely, the future champion of the world from Belfast, Jimmy Conlon.
Thanks. It's a privilege to be here on a great show. This is what Irish boxing needs, these small hold shows, keep us going. O'Kane and Fitzgerald will be a cracking fit. As a boxing fan, I'm excited to watch it. And, I was on a few amateur belts with Paddy myself. It's good to see him back. Glad he doesn't have that Aussie accent because I can't stand it. But, it's also good to be fighting on the 12th of July and getting paid for it.
With Jimmy's talent, he's very, very hard to get matched because we're starting to get throughout Europe that he is a potential world champion. But we promise he will be on the show and he will be boxing. I'd like to introduce you to a wee fella here. He comes from a wonderful family of amateur and professional boxing. His father beat all odds. I think it was my first thing as MC in an undercard for Barry Hearn way back in 1994, I think it was. He was pitted in against the then invincible Chris Eubank. But he came out, and he came out well. His name was Steve Collins. Ladies and gentlemen, His son is here and he's taken up the sport of professional boxing and he's doing very well in his debutant fashion. He's coming in at cruiserweight and it's hard to believe because I hit him a wee dig in the stomach there today, I usually do that to see if they're fit, and he never budged. I heard he's a real bull at training, just like a daddy. And to be successful in professional boxing in particular, whenever the chance arises, you become a bully. That is the most successful way. And his father was brilliant at that, and I hope the son's the same. Ladies and gentlemen, Stevie Collins Jr.
How you doing? I'd just like to say thanks lads for inviting me down, and I'm really looking forward to the show on the 12th of July. Hope it goes great, hope it's very entertaining for everyone, and hope I exceed everyone's expectations. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll not hold you back. That's about it. We'll finish off now. The 12th of July, the Paradise Hotel, we're depending on you. We're out an awful lot of money on this particular show. If we get a packed house, we'll be breaking even, just about. But this is going to be well worth it. It's a forerunner to what can happen. And there's a fella there sitting, Larry O'Kane, Eamon O'Kane's daddy. They flew in especially from Spain, to be here today. Larry O'Kane. And this is a very, very important show. Even Cormac Campbell's even here today. You know, it's hard to believe. Wonderful, such legends. But I think we'll end up with a wee word from the top of the bill, Patrick Murphy.
Again, I'd just like to thank everybody for coming out today, and everybody that's shown support for the show, and again I ask the people of Newry, Mourne, South Armagh, and of course the people of Ireland to support not only this show but other small hall shows around the country. But hopefully we can pick boxing back up, and I want to fight as many times in Ireland as I can. And again, thanks everybody for coming, and I hope to see you all on the 12th of July. Thank you.
Well done. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Interviews can take place. I know the photographs have already been taken. We started off a bit late and some of the photographers had to go elsewhere. But please, it's down to the media, whether this is a success or not. We've tried very, very hard. Oh yes, hold on a second. Very impatient. Catch us on to this. Want plenty of photographs in your local papers and plenty of write-ups as we work along. And look, contact Mickey Hughes. His phone numbers on this sheet. Any questions you want answered, please do not hesitate to contact us through Mickey Hughes. Once again, thanks very, very much indeed for coming. You've made a lot of effort, and it's great to see Newry's #1 asset to amateur and professional boxing here tonight, or this afternoon. Serena Wallace, lovely to see you. You guys more for the boxing. I saw you on Facebook last night. Well done to you. So once again, to Seamus McCormick, to everybody here, may God bless you all. And we'll see you eventually on the 12th of July. It's a good day for fighting. The Battle of the Boyne. Thank you very much indeed. Any questions you want? Put them up to the boss here, Mr. Owen Murphy, plus the boxers.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you very much for coming along this morning, Ryan, and doing us, folks. Any questions you want to ask any of the boxers or Mickey Hughes, feel free to do so.
What do you just ask you in terms of the opponents? I mean, how does that affect your preparations now on the fight if you aren't too sure who you're fighting?
It doesn't affect me one bit. I've got 9 professional fights now, and it says 6 of the fights weren't from scheduled opponents. Like, the worst was I had a change of opponent within 12 hours of a fight. This has given us over 4 weeks. The promoters had a plan B in place. They've already lined up Peter McDonough, and it's just a matter now, if Michael Kelly doesn't come forward within the next 24 hours, it's Peter McDonough. 4 weeks is a long time to train for anybody, so I'm 100% fit. I'm going to be fit, and yeah, it doesn't matter who it is.
You broke your hand last year. Did any recurrence to that problem, or are you able to hit it full whack and train?
Yeah, my hand's perfect now. Like, it had been sore for a right few months afterwards, and yeah, from now on, the odd time I get a bit of a pain, a bit of stiffness. That's it. Like I'm punching as hard as it was, if not harder, because of all the strength and conditioning work we've been doing. So yeah, my hand's not an issue.
It's obviously difficult, I suppose, to build a profile when you're away to make sure everyone back in Ireland knows. Like, I mean, are you hoping to make a name for yourself here, or what's the plan in terms of the future for how much you'll be able, or how much do you want to fight at home?
I've wanted to fight at home from a turn professional, and I've said I wouldn't make it difficult for any promoter to put me on. And it's great to have the opportunity. I would love to fight in Ireland as often as possible. And like, the media is a great thing, like Facebook and irishboxing.com and Green Job, and everybody's been very good. Like, they've been profiling me and they've been putting me out there to the Irish people. And this is my first show in Ireland, and I want to sort of put it out there. I wanted to put on a good show against Michael Kelly, but if it's Peter McDonough, it doesn't matter. I want to win a lot of supporters in this trip, and hopefully next time I come back, the fan base is going to get bigger and bigger.
We'll be back in September for Fury Head.
Oh yeah, well, I'm getting this fight out of the way first, but the boys are still 99.9% sure that it's going through, and once we get final details of that, that's another fight down the road. But all that's on my mind at the minute is July 12th.
That's the right attitude, yeah. Well done, Paddy. Any more questions?
Just ask, I suppose, about Eamon and Anthony first, for fighting again. Obviously, prize fighter was probably the most admired fight of the night that was in it. Like, I mean, is this the fight that you really wanted? So you obviously had a few opponents probably you picked out that you have had a bit of a domestic rivalry that you haven't got in the ring. It's a great matchup to finally get.
Yeah, well, this is one of the fights that since prize fighter, because 3 rounds, no one can do anything really in 3 rounds, and it was the best prize fighter fight, so we say, since prize fighter started. So over 10 rounds now, it's a different ball game. So this is the one that I wanted now, and you see how good he is then when he does come into 10 rounds.
Do you expect it to be a much different fight, that the prize fighter format changes the way a lot of lads?
Well, obviously it's going to be a different fight. It's over 10 rounds. The prize fight was only over 3 rounds, and it was basically a war for 3 rounds, because that's all he had. We'll see that win the first, win the second, and basically, you know. So 10 rounds now, we can settle in and concentrate on the boxing.
Ask Eamon, how important is this fight for yourself, obviously, after the last that you've had?
No, it's good to get back and win away in February. For me, it was a terrible performance. It was a change of coach and change of gym, and I was only with the team 5 or 6 weeks. So definitely, my head, as I would say, was up my ass after the Ryder fight, and especially in the circumstances that I took that fight, it was wrong. So I'm glad I've had a good period of time to work with Bernardo and the team. I'm very happy with the way I'm boxing, and as far as 10 or 3 round fight, to me it makes no difference. You know, I tend to win every round like a little prize fighter, and that's exactly the way the fight's going to go.
Well said, Eamon. Any more questions?
And for Jim,
Peter, or
you sort of, people expected things to move along a lot quicker for you as a professional. Why have things been so slow, I guess, and do you get frustrated with that?
Your guess is as good as mine. I'm in the gym every day like everyone else, and then working like everyone else, but it just doesn't seem to happen with the fights, and seem to fall through from myself more than others. But especially with the lower weights, it was hard to get matched, and it gets frustrating now. But what Johnny told me at the very start, it was going to happen, it could happen, and I didn't believe him, but it did happen, and he keeps me focused, and him and Eamon they're beating me up every day more than anyone else can beat me up, and my brother is also beating me up every day. So it's just down to keeping your mental focus when you're training, knowing that your performance on the night is all that matters, and it doesn't matter who you're fighting. And if the fight happens, it happens, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. But you have to keep focused, you know. So that's all.
Your name check there, but you called Butler recently. Is that a fight you'd like?
I love that. It's a great fight, and I think he's a good fighter. He's a really good fighter. He's caught me out a few times, and it's a fight I think it'll be exciting. You know, I think I hit too hard for him, and he looks flashy. Looks like he hits a bit hard himself, so it wouldn't last the distance. But Flyweight, super flyweight, if I can move back down to the flyweight and fight Cam Satchel tomorrow, you know, it'd be an honour fight. I'd love. I seen him against Luke Wilton and I wasn't impressed, and he's made for me, to be honest. I feel too big for the flyweights and super flyweights. I'm hitting too hard for him. These are the fights I want. The fight in the 12th of July is a must-win. If I lose, I'm going back to zero. So every fight from now on is a must-win because I want them guys, and I want to be up there. I want to be the British and Commonwealth champion. I want to be European. I want to move on. I want to be world or whatever. But this is what I want.
Have you talked to John or to Mickey about opponents or how tough a fight you want?
No, I don't really talk about opponents because I don't focus on opponents. I focus on myself, and if I perform, it's all that matters. The opponent has got 2 arms, he's got 2 legs. If he has a 3rd arm, that's when I get scared. But that's all that matters to me. What I do in the ring is what all matters.
Okay.
For Steve Jr., why did you, I mean, you came from a rugby background, I think, was it? Why did you decide to take up the family business?
In the off-season rugby, I used to go to my uncle's gym just to keep fit. And so in the off-season ended this year, I was doing some sparring, you know, I was getting in with seasoned pros like Ian and other lads, and he said to me, you know, I think you have talent here, I think we should give this a shot. I just said, why not?
Will you keep doing both sports? Or?
Yeah, I'll keep doing both sports and I'll see how to go upon it.
Are you still training with Pascal now, or?
Yeah, I train with Pascal every day in Celtic Water Gym in Cordoff.
And how do you find someone like Ian Timms is a very experienced lad, how do you find sparring with him?
Yeah, it's great sparring. It's going well. Again, with lads like Steve Reynolds as well, so they all hit hard. So I'm finding it okay.
It's a nice level to be starting out at, I think.
Yeah, I'm very lucky to get to the standard of these 2 lads, but you know, every day I don't mind.
Okay. Very shy. There's a wee lad here, incidentally, folks, and I really want to show him respect. Stephen Sharp from Green Job. He travels all over Ireland and sometimes all over the world to press conferences. He's another great asset to the wonderful world of different types of boxing. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it. God bless you all. We'll see you all on the 12th of July for the Battle of the Boyne at the Fairway Hotel, Dundalk. Doors open 6 o'clock. Boxing starts sharp at 7. What a night we're in for. Thank you very, very much indeed.